everybody, thank you very much for joining me. This is my fourth false start. Today's reading is going to be your life partner or spouse. That's certain somebody who makes a huge emotional impact on you and that you carry around with you for your lifetime if you don't stay with them, or you may stay with them. I don't know that. We can possibly see a little bit or a hint of this in the reading. This is a different type of reading. I'm going to use the astrology chart and put cards around it, and then to integrate the cards into the house placements. And perhaps if you're interested in astrology, I'll put a few points in here that you may be able to see an astrology chart that had the same flavour. You have got three choices. Choice number 1 is woven bark. Choice number 2 is UFO airspace. And choice number 3 is tangerine galoshes. So if you want to take your choice, then we'll get started.
La música de Harry Frog.
Okay, pile number 1. This is like a different reading, so it seems to me it always feels slightly stilted because you've got to allocate the cards that you're looking at. You've got to integrate the different houses to come across with some type of recognition of what you can see. So it will feel unusual at first, but I'm just going to get stuck into it and tell you what I can see. With regards to how will you recognise this person, I've put Virgo down here. I didn't choose it, it came out of the pack. I've got Virgo down here on the first house, and then you've got here the 4 or 5 of wands. So this Virgo rising to me is somebody who normally very attractive because everything looks like it's in the right place. Most of the time their faces are very symmetrical. They tend to look really clean and neat. I always say that Virgos are the only people that can wear white t-shirts or white shirts or anything white. They tend to just look like they're really well put together, and that will often translate with regard to the clothes that they wear because they tend to exercise. They tend to keep themselves trim, whether it's a look that you like or not. They tend to wear tighter fitting clothes, but not in a very showy offy way, not in an ostentatious way, as in like it's so tight you can see everything, but more in a way it looks neat. So this would be somebody who is probably smaller than usual, maybe look very young for their age, perhaps a slim, not longer face, but they tend to have very good jaw lines is what I'm thinking here. They tend to have a longer chin, but sleek, as in a sleek type of face here. But you've got cards here which look like somebody's fighting. So what do Virgos fight with? They tend to fight with things like obsessive compulsive disorder, trying to get everything correct, trying to be very exact, being too detail orientated. So I guess you might recognise this person by looking fit, good looking, what everybody would probably say is a typically handsome or beautiful face. But there's a feeling here, there's a look in the eye of anxiety, and that may sound a bit strange, but I've seen many Virgos like this. They're too busy to look at you because they're thinking of the next thing, or they're on to the next thing, and there can be a slight sort of anxiousness with regards to their demeanour. This may be mitigated somewhat by looking down here at the 4th house, where you've got I've put the house for the moon, and I've put, you can't see this, it's not a house, it's actually a constellation. I've got Libra down here for some sort of idea, and you've got Empress by the side of that. So that's a really strong Venus-y type message here. So with regard to recognising this person, they may have got a very sort of easy breezy, very close to mother type of home life that will, especially in a long-term relationship, is what you're looking for, because it will translate into your lifestyle and your world in a way that this person knows how to love. With Libra here and Virgo, once again, that combination can be quite magnetic because there's the ability to charm, there's the ability to be able to converse or chat in a very easy manner. But with the Virgo here, it's like, yeah, they actually mean it. They actually are interested in you, which to me is a fantastic combination. The Empress and the Libra here, a Libra type moon is normally somebody who feels at ease when everybody else is at ease. You often find that Libras, depending on the rest of the chart, and that's actually an exaggeration, Libras can sometimes be people pleasers, but it will depend on, once again, whether that anxiety is part of trying to get something done in the world in front of them, or whether it stems from the mother. The fact that you've got double Libra here, I would say this person's quite at home with regards to how they settle inside their own body. This person gives because they like the atmosphere to be nice, not because they need to give. So at the moment, this is somebody who's good looking, somebody who's charming, somebody who possibly is very youthful, somebody who fights slightly with anxiety and getting things done in a way that they feel is correct when everybody else would have ticked it off hours ago. The Empress card and the Libra card here makes me think this person's home life is easy, or has been easy. There's not a huge amount of trouble here, and this person likes to make people feel good. Can often be the type of person who thinks ahead to smooth out relationships, tries to put people at ease, tries to make people feel they belong in groups, that type of feeling. The communication here has got I'm trying to make things nice here, it has actually just got the Three of Swords here. So with regards to communication, and I'm thinking, this person's anxiety, this person may have a bit quite anxious about how they come across when something's important to them, and that could lend to a feeling of social anxiety. What they say, it could be just somebody said something to them like, it's better to have. Sometimes it's better to say nothing at all. What's that saying when people say? It's better for people to wonder what you haven't said than what you did. It's something like that, isn't it? That type of comment could have, with this card here, and this type of very sort of self-conscious feeling here, and this sort of wanting to please everybody maybe here, that's the type of thing that could stick with somebody like this. If it was more fire here, it would go over their back. It was just like, as I say, water over duck's back. But this has got a feeling of somebody who possibly has some blockage with regards to how they speak, how they think they're perceived, or, there could even be something like a lisp or a stutter, or I'm going to say, no, not Tourette's. No, not Tourette's yet. I can't see anything in here that would say that. In fact, the complete opposite. Or social anxiety, maybe just shy. Maybe just shy here with Virgo. But generally at ease with themselves, but not really sure how they're going to be perceived by the outside environment, because that is your home, your Empress and your Libra, that feels good. This person has a fighty quality on next to the Virgo here, and the communication may be a bit of a problem. So that very much could be not thinking that what they say is worthwhile, speaking too fast and hoping to get it over with so nobody really notices them. I'm trying to speak slowly now. But to me, the Virgos often feel that they're not enough. I know a Virgo lady who, this is so Virgo. You will get some stories in this. You may want to just double tap if you don't like a story. But she's incredibly she writes, and her writing is absolutely beautiful. People who write have got Gemini in there, but mainly Virgo. Virgo, when I'm looking at people's whose stories I like, or who authors that I like, I tend to look them up, and it will always be Virgo somewhere important in there. Always. I'm not always, but I would guess 90% of the time. So anyway, she's a fantastic writer. She writes about typical Virgo things. It's like children's stories, but they're based on a doll's house. So everything's miniature, very Virgo. Everything's tiny, and they've all got these little sweetie names and things. And you think that sounds really... you may think that sounds silly unless you're Virgo, but when she writes, I think, God, that will sell. That will sell. It's absolutely fantastic. Oh my God, Lord, what was my point? Oh, my point was that she has finished doing some training in writing, and she wants to resit the training again, even though what she did was fantastic. because she just doesn't think she's good enough. I'm thinking, Lord above, that would just fly off the shelves if somebody put that out as a children's book. Anyway, so that's where the anxiety, possibly, maybe not feeling they're good enough. If you tapped to skip the story, welcome back. The next bit we're going to look at is like a karmic feel. What are you getting when you see this person? In the 12th house here, you've got justice in the 4th house, and sometimes you can look at the 8th house as well. I'm looking at it, so that's going to be included because it basically tells a story here. The Libra has got, and the Justice card here has got that Venusian feeling of attraction. So there's a strong feeling that when you see this person, you recognise them if you haven't already, and you immediately interpret their looks as being what you find attractive. Whether it's what you always found attractive, it's like, my gosh, there's something special about them, and it will have a lot to do with how they look, which is quite important in this part as well. There's also here in the 8th house here a feeling of like healing or a journey being taken. So it could have a very chironic feel about this, where you see them, you like them, you're attracted to them, but there may be some difficulty in getting to them. In the 8th house as well, that chironic feel may have something to do with sexuality, but to be honest, there's a feeling here that it's felt all at once immediately, which is probably how we will feel things when we're not here in this world. It will be like that, and you will know. And that is a feeling of attraction with a slight tinge of pain with it, if that makes sense to anybody, if you know this person already. So let's just say you're quite confident. This person possibly has a little twinges of trying to prove that they are confident in themselves. You see this person, you're attracted to them, and you usually stride over to them, you talk to them. There may be something here that stops you. You may find it difficult to actually put words in why you find it difficult, but did I just really say the same thing twice? There is something that nips in your attraction to this person, in how you see them physically, that basically burns up an old pain inside you, and I don't know what that is. Right, okay, so their career, what do they do every day? Let's have a look. The Queen of Swords here may have something to do with communicating, which is strange because you've got this 3rd house thing here. This person's anxiety, this person may talk for a living, but they may have stage fright, or they may be at the early stages of setting themselves up in a career. This may change later because I have looked over here, and they find it difficult. And so many people who are good at talking often go through that process at the beginning where they find it awkward, because this person isn't naturally at ease in the limelight, from what I can see in most of this spread here. The Queen of Swords could also be somebody who counsels, or somebody who works in media, somebody who somehow brings people together through communication, or somebody who, like a lawyer or a solicitor or a barrister, who cuts through the quick. The Queen of Swords here could also just be somebody that works in a service industry where relating to the public is incredibly important. Queen of Swords. Finances, to me, I would guess here, are not thought about but kept in order with the Queen of Swords here. Their money is there. It's not something they strive for, but it's something that is okay with regards to their bank account. Isn't full, but they can eat, that type of feeling here. The reason that I'm saying that is that I'm going over to the 6th house here, and the 6th house has got the 5 of Pentacles. So there's a feeling here that they may be out of work, or they may be in between jobs, or they may feel, to me this feels like anxiety with regards to, when you meet them, you may meet them in a job where they have some form of anxiety, where they're not at ease with regards to how they express themselves, or they feel as if they're not getting what they need out of that particular environment. So this person may be transitioning in some way with regards to health or acts of service. Virgo, there's the 6th house, and that you've got this feeling here of something going on in this person that feels slightly awkward. And I know we're looking at career and money. Just a thought here, your person could be out of work, or could have a recognisable something about them from an accident, whether it's a scar, whether it's a limp, whether it's, just something there. Another thought here about physiotherapy came to mind. This person could work within like the medical field or the NHS, could be somebody who Could even do like work on the with the communication here. Could work on the phones or a receptionist, but could also be somebody who helps people who feel shut out or helps people who are in pain because of the Virgo. Mentally in pain or physically in pain is a possibility here. Let's have a look at the 10th house. Oh, Lordy. 10th house. There's unrest with regards to career here. You've got the 4 of Cups up here in the 10th house. A struggling writer who thinks that they're not very good. Somebody who feels 10th house communication again, talking, perhaps working with children. If they work with children, it probably could be the end of primary education with the Virgo there. You tend to get Sagittarius mainly in secondary education, and the water signs in early education, and Virgo and Gemini tend to swap, can basically go over the primary, secondary age, and they sometimes go into both, but could be a teacher. Doesn't enjoy it anymore. Maybe here with communication, here with not feeling that they belong, not wanting to take up an offer, and kids coming here is a big possibility here. I'm going to put those down. To me, it's somebody who's in a transition with I start talking fast with regards to what I know, and it gives it a bit more speed, but I'll have to go back and slow it down again. Your person has some form of feeling that something's not right inside them. They probably tend to worry quite easy anyway, but people may not see that because their automatic reaction is to smooth out life situations, smooth out communication, make people feel at ease, and they're very charming. They probably look extremely altogether, very attractive. There's a feeling here that anxiety may come from the way that they communicate, but that might be, when you meet them, that might be tied in with regards to a change in job, that they feel that they possibly, with that and that outgrown. They may be in the medical field, they may be doctor, they may be a nurse, they may be a teacher. It's that type of feeling where communication combined with a service, which could be medical, which could be literary, which could be Virgo, even like financial advice, like mathematical and that type of thing as well, because they're very good with details. But to me, they feel that they're either shut out or coming to a transition where they feel that they want to move career, change their job, change their routine, or they may be pulled out of a particular routine through illness themselves, or they may work with people with illnesses. I know this is difficult because there's lots of different things you can slice into each one. Right, let's move on to their love language. The 3 of Swords makes me think that they've on the 3rd house makes me think that their communication, as I've said so many times before, they're difficult. They find it difficult to get things started or to articulate their thoughts. This person doesn't come across, even with the Libra here, with very flouncy romantic language, unless you know them quite well, where the moon sign may come more into place. Their love language with the 5th house is the 2 of Pentacles, which, to be honest, even though that looks a bit dry, may be quite amusing because it's quite playful, which would go with this nice, charming 3rd house here. So I feel that initially this person is difficult. They're quite dry with regards to how they communicate. If you've got earth inside you yourself, you'll love it. If they've got earth inside you, you think, okay, you don't have to give me so many words. Libra like to talk though. You don't have to give me so many words. That's fine. We'll just sit in silence. That's okay. And your person may find that quite easy to do because they'll calm themselves down. But with the 2 of Pentacles, once this person's attracted, the Libra will come shining out and they'll start flirting. And so they may be cool with everybody else, but with you, they will start basically joking a little bit, playing with things, being a little bit more lighthearted. It's almost like the 5th house, having the 2 of Pentacles, brings out a more playful side in them, which not everybody else gets to say. So you will also recognise that about them, that they will be more playful with you compared to other people. With regard to the 7th house, this person, to me, having the Ace of Wands, which is quite a significant card in this part because a lot of it is quite subdued. In the 7th house, this person has a very strong need for a long-term relationship. It's something that they aim for. And to be honest with this feeling here, even though this is romantic, that is playful though. To me, having the Pentacles card there, And the Wands card here, it's like they can play with romance, but when it comes to possibly sex with the 8th house, 6 of Swords there, they feel vulnerable if they sleep with people when there's not an emotional affiliation. Wrong word, but that's the first one that came to mind. But with the Ace of Wands here, what they're looking for is a long-term relationship. This person doesn't like sleeping around, is what I'm trying to say. It's not something that they get a kick out of. And in fact, with that one here in the communication, I wonder whether somebody said something awful to them in the past. Something that's hurt. You get somebody with this flavour inside them and they sleep with somebody who is outspoken. And I have got friends who are very outspoken. My best friend, she's not my best friend, but she's a good friend, is Sagittarius. And I'll tell you a secret here. She doesn't watch this. She slept with somebody, I think he was in Camp America or something like that. And she finished, she said, that was awful. You were awful. Or in fact, I think she insulted his physicality in some way. I thought, you just said what? I can't believe it. Maybe that person has gone through something like that. Not saying anything about his physicality, which is a great word, but I feel that they feel too vulnerable, too anxious when it comes to love relationships. It's not as easy unless the emotions are rolling, unless there's a real attraction here. This isn't maybe somebody when they were young slept with a couple of people who they felt it was a good thing to do just because that's what everybody else was doing, or they were drunk and it was 3 o'clock in the morning and they didn't like it. This person wants a long-term relationship and puts a lot of effort into searching for that and maintaining it, I would say here, which fits in with the rest of the Libra here, the nice feeling from a home life. This person wants to replicate that with a Virgo here. Virgo isn't somebody who slips in and out of relationships. They haven't got the time in their head to do that. It's like, why would I bother? I'm going to say something like, I'm too busy ironing underpants, but it's not that. It's just that, why would he bother? Why am I shuffling? It's automatic. Okay, the next one is their friends and their downtime. So the 11th house is, oh my gosh, the 11th house has got the 7 of Wands here. This person, this is not friends or downtime to me. This is their aspirations. This is something this person is anxious to achieve in a work situation. This card here, and the 10th house being a bit of a difficult one. This person has got an aim. This is somebody who is trying to live up to something. Perhaps their dad did, or something that they were told in school, and they've got an aim that they want to achieve. So I feel that this person struggles with regards to not feeling enough and is continually aiming at something. I know this isn't going to sound attractive as I'm going through it. It's because I'm unraveling it in my mind. When I put it together, I will try and picture this person in my head as they will show up, rather than unpicking every little bit as I go through, which doesn't make anybody attractive when you unpick them. I always think that about critics. That it's easy to be a critic. Anybody can do it. It's harder to see the whole picture. So that's what I'm going to try and do for you. Okay, here goes. With regards to your future spouse, this person that is either in your life already, how will you recognise them? How can you live with them? What's going on in their life? This person has got, or your person has got, a strong need to push forward. They are very detail orientated. They find life quite difficult because they never feel that they're as flamboyant as other people that they come across. They've had a steady home life. There's probably a strong relationship with mother that relates to what they're looking for with regards to long-term relationships. They find that communication is difficult, whether it's part of something they're going through now with regards to their career, where they don't feel that they're in the right place, or they're going through some sort of transition when you meet them, or if you know them already. It's because they set such high standards for themselves. Talking, communicating is a really important part of their life. So you may find them incredibly articulate, but they may always feel that they're tripping over their own words. What you will find, the more you get to know them, the more playful that they become. They'll be good with words and flirting and playing, and have what I guess is a more cheeky side to them once you find out there's attraction going on between the pair of you. There's a feeling here that sexually this person doesn't feel at ease, and there may be, You may have to take what I guess is a very gentle but assertive approach with them to get over what could possibly be past hurts. With regards to career and how they're seen in the outward standing or what they do day to day, this person could have an injury that's significant. They could have something that puts them out of action for a while, or they could have a disability in some way that makes day-to-day activities quite difficult, or that you notice. I don't know which way here. The careers that I came up with that possibly could be hinted at here were the NHS, working for, like nurse, doctor, counselling, social services, no, not social services, communicating in many different forms, writing, teaching, physiotherapy, helping people that are in trouble, working with young children, teaching, possibly the age range from about 8 until 15, 16, that type of age range. This person feels that they need to achieve something in their life that you possibly will determine, or you will think is silly. Why are you pushing yourself? But it's something very much inbuilt, and I don't feel that they've got a huge social group, because I think this person puts a lot of effort into their work situation normally. With regards to a karmic feeling here, how will you recognise them? There will be an immediate attraction to the way that they present themselves, their looks, their face, their figure, the way they put their clothes together, the way that they are quite at ease with who they are deep down, even though there's anxiety with initial. That's a difficult combination to get across, but there's an ease deep down, but with regards to meeting people, there may be a slight shyness. When the attraction's there, that will disappear totally. I feel that you'll be immediately attracted. I think you'll probably both be immediately attracted to each other with the Justice card here as well, because there's that karmic feeling of recognising what is your visage, what is your face, or those Venusy qualities that just pull each other on a very surface level together. And that's going to have quite an impact in this reading. So that's what I've got. This is my second reading on this type of thing. I've got one that's stored because it's difficult to integrate it. So if there's something there about somebody that you know, I hope that it helps already to give you an idea that this person may be important in your life. Or if you haven't met this person, to perhaps to keep your eye out. And if anything turns up that fits in here, please come back to me. Thanks very much for spending your time with me. Bye. If you like the readings, don't forget to subscribe as well. Bye. Okay, pile number, I'm going to put this here, pile number 2. I've just had a false start because I was talking such rubbish. Anyway, let's get stuck into it. There's a feeling as soon as I put these cards out that this person has possibly been married before. There's a feeling here as well that this person is older than you. There are bits here, as with these readings, I've done them before and they take a long time to pick out, so they can often feel stilted and I don't put them up, but I'm going to put this one up. What I do at the end is I will talk a lot faster and put it all together, so if you can bear with me. The Gemini card here in the first house with the 9 of Pentacles, to me makes me think of somebody, there's a feeling of tall in this. There's a feeling of somebody who's taller than average. There's a feeling with a Gemini, I've got somebody in mind here who fits the bill. This person has got a smaller face. They can often be blondish or the lighter colour of the rest of the people in their family. They can be long-limbed, taller than average. They tend to walk with what is a skip and they speak fast with Gemini there. There's a feeling here that this person laughs a lot. Why am I thinking of Aries in here as well? I don't know. I don't know. But there's a feeling of somebody who is straightforward, amusing, likes life to move fast and likes life to be funny. Somebody who's tall, maybe even a little bit gangly, I'm going to say there. I'm just thinking like long limbs. Such a word as gangly. Somebody who uses their hands a lot to articulate. yeah, that's what I've got here. My first thoughts here. You've got, the Queen of Wands down here with regards to communication. This person's straightforward. This person thinks they're funny. This person is going to make an impression on you straight away. They're going to walk up to you. They're going to talk to you. And it's going to be like, if you're fiery or if you're air yourself, it's going to feel spot on, because you're going to feel like you belong with this person. This conversation will allow you to feel like you've known them from a long time. It's got a feisty feeling to it. It's got a fiery feeling, and this person is revved up the more that you communicate, I would say here. The easier the flow, the more exciting it becomes. So this will be somebody you could talk to for hours, and then you when you separate, you think, my God, that was so easy. You know, if you're slightly anxious talking to people, or especially if you find somebody attractive, you won't with this person. It will be straight in. There won't be any time to think. With regards to their home life, you've got Scorpio down here, which is more like the moon, and you've got the Two of Cups. I feel this person has strong relationships at home. This has got, with the Scorpio here and the Two of Cups, somebody who may actually fight, and this isn't a good way, with family members. Like, they might be very close to dad, maybe very close to mum, and that person is allowed to have strong opinions and allowed to express them, which may sound unusual, but I think that will allow this person to be able to be quite contentious with regards to what they say or how they come across, and not feel too rattled inside themselves that people aren't going to love them or like them, or they're going to move away from them. This person is used to being, to me, this has got a very strong feeling of somebody who is quite a case, and as my gran would have said, quite a case, somebody who hits your head on and everybody knows who they are, a big personality, and you will know it straight away. With regards to their career or their financial position, or what do they do day to day, I'm looking at Ace of Pentacles. This person may work for themselves. In fact, I think they do work for themselves, and it may even be something like a family business, with the 10th house having the 10 of Pentacles here. This person is confident, articulate, bright, and not afraid to put themselves on the line. There's bravery and a courage in this pile. Courageous feeling, I was going to say. And that will come across in their finances. I feel that this person will have money, but they may have gone through periods in their life where that money has been taken from them. In the 6th house, you've got the King of Wands there as well. So this is somebody who's not afraid to, would rather gamble on something if they thought it was worthwhile, than to sit on minimum wage for their whole life, if that makes sense. You often find this type of feeling with people who own their own business and are bankrupt a few times. This Ace of Wands, the King of Wands, and the 10 of Wands is not somebody, the 10 of house up here, the 10 of Pentacles in the 10th house, is somebody who likes money to feel secure, is prepared to put the effort into it and expects the comeback. This is not somebody who shuts off when it comes to finances. I'm not saying they're greedy. I'm just saying that they like the game of it. This is I'm going to say funky pile, but I don't know what that means. Let's have a look at their love language. How would you know them by the way they communicate with you? They are straightforward. They don't hide their feelings. The 5th house here. Why this then? Okay, this person is adept at everyday activities, money, communicating, talking to people, talking to men, talking to women, being sociable, being out there. They look like they've got it all going, but when it comes to love relationships, it's almost like this person would have crashed and burned, I think, in a couple of love relationships in their life. And I feel that there may be they could, with the 7th house, having this heavy feeling. And I said initially that this person may have been married once before, that they could be, this may not be selling it to you, but this person may be financially tied to children from, I'm not, that makes it say tied isn't a meaning that it's negative, but they may be supporting children is a better word, isn't it? They're all supporting families from the past where their money may be going in lots of different directions, even though they may have a bit of it. I know a Pisces guy like this. Pisces always tend to, not always, but as a generally, try not to insult anybody, tend to have lots of different relationships and can slide from one to the next. And this guy I knew, he earned loads and loads of money, and went in and out of lots of different relationships, married, kids, and he had a huge drive to achieve. There was almost had a problem with it, I would say, and it was based on his father, who used to. He organised the London Underground or something like that. I don't really know what organised means, but he had a huge part in that. So he saw his dad as an achiever, and he wanted to, but he achieved it all. He got all the money coming in, didn't have nothing at the end, and I don't know whether he's slightly resentful for it. I don't know. He became a teacher in the end. Well, lordy. So the 7th house, with regards to how they communicate in their love language, I feel this person is forthright, as I've said many times already. But when it comes to love, I feel that they are more reticent than they were in their youth. And I feel that they are straight enough and strong enough and exuberant enough to make the effort to come and show you that they like you. But when it comes to the follow-up, it's almost like you have to, not saying you want to do this, but trust has to go between the pair of you for you both to be able to feel safe, is what I would probably say there. With regards to their friends, this person has a huge amount of friends, possibly in the 11th house here, from youth. They may even be religious as well. Which has a feeling in it. Sometimes I say spiritual. This one has a religious feeling here. This person may be. What does religious mean? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know what either of them mean, to be honest. But this person may follow what I would say is a parental route with regards to finding their beliefs or finding their meaning in life. Concreting their beliefs. I don't know why I'm thinking that, because the Ace of Wands with the fire here, you've got Sagittarius, which tends to aid more towards Buddhism, that type of flow with regards to their beliefs. And this person may be that, but why am I thinking? I don't know. Religion, spirituality is important to them, and I think that you will know that probably already, the fact that you've got the Ace of Wands here. So if you're a churchgoer, your person, you may meet them in church, or you may know that they go to church, and that may be what pulls you together. If you are into the sort of, that's got me, to be honest, so it could be Buddhism. If you are more interested into that type of take on why we're all here, then that could be again another sort of connection there, because that's a strong feeling with these cards here, and that's communication, that's everyday activity. So this person carries around, it's part of who they are to me, acts of service, health and work. So this person could possibly, this is interesting to me, probably only, but just a thought here, your person may have grown up in a lifestyle where their thoughts and opinions were allowed to be expressed, which has that Scorpio Sagittarius feel. And they could actually, their lifestyle or what they've set up with regards to how they get their money could be charity based, or could have the larger people, the humanitarian twist to it that they are quite passionate about, and that may be part of their belief system. So whether it is religion or whether it is spirituality, I don't think it matters. This person likes to give. They like to give in a way where they lead. So the people that I know that have this flavour is people who renovate children's homes. They go around, they renovate buildings, and because that's what their parents did with regard, I don't actually know these people, but I know of them. They renovate the buildings, and their parents used to work in children's homes, so that is like a passion project for them. They want to make sure that these houses exist for children because it's what they believe in, and it's come from their parents, and they are this. One of them especially is this. You can. Well, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it just in case. But they say what they think, and that's how they were allowed to do that when they were young, and so it's normal. With regards to a karmic feeling here, you've got a very incredibly strong karmic romantic feeling here, where there was a relationship that was exchanged that was strong and open and raw. And when you meet this person, and once again, as in pile number 1, there will be an immediate recognition. You've got here in the 4th house, water in all the water houses here. The Scorpio here in the 2 of Cups, to me, makes me think that the relationship was strong, it was equal, you were as strong as they were, and there was an attraction there in that. The Knight of Cups here in the 12th house makes me think that there could even be a period of time when this person has held a candle for you, but I can't believe that they haven't let you know already. So it could be a long-term yearning from their side with regards to the attraction to you, if that makes sense. The 8th house up here with regards to sexuality has something lost. My first thoughts here, because that's the house of like sex, life, death, and you've got 2 standing in this here, and you've got a very strong bond here. You could have been lovers in past lifetime, and before this person felt fulfilled with the amount of time that they spent with you, they could have lost you, and that could be recognised with what I guess is a raw feeling with a Scorpio down here on first meetings. I don't know. I was about to say, there is also, because the Knight of Cups moves towards you, whether this romantic feeling is coming towards you. But then I saw this up here with the 8th house. Makes me feel that this person feels that they missed out on you in past lifetimes. Is coming back. Maybe a South Node connection that feels very, very strong. South Node Venus, Venus Pluto as well in here as well with this feeling here. Right, okay, so let's start summing this up with regards to how you're going to recognise this person. Maybe, when will you meet them? What position will they be in? What will their job be? There's a feeling here of somebody who is a A-type personality, somebody who is spirited, outgoing, adventurous, courageous, an entrepreneur feeling here, possibly involving family. This person makes decisions and they're not afraid to be straight with people. This person is funny, they're articulate. There's a feeling of being tall. There's a feeling here of being very, very independent. Somebody who's good with words, somebody who is bright and tight with what they're thinking. As you know, that type of feeling like a lawyer, somebody who can cut straight through you when you're sort of trying to sort out your thoughts and your feelings yourself. They will recognise it straight away. They are interested in money, but more from the point of view with regards, they like to play with getting hold of it. This has got a very sprightly, forceful feeling in it. I can't think of the words here. When it comes to love relationships, there will be a very strong immediate recognition, but to move it on from that position, I feel, will be difficult because you will have to pull out their love nature. This person isn't at ease with love as they are at achieving. They are quite cool-natured when it gets to trying to pull out the love out of them. There's Aquarius moon down here, sun down here, because I put that on the 5th house here, and there's this feeling of healing and heaviness here, and a very strong feeling that this person, you may meet them on their second marriage, which could be complicated in some way because it feels like resources may be shared. Don't know about that. They have a huge social group, probably a lot of childhood friends. Their relationship with their friends is good. They're open with their friends as well. It's like everybody knows where they sit with so-and-so, whatever their name is. So there's nothing hidden here, but I feel that if you're softer hearted when it comes to getting close to somebody, you're going to have to teach this person, because I don't feel that this person may have I know I've got Scorpio moon here, but you could have a Scorpio moon conjunct Uranus, which doesn't feel at ease with relaxing into lovey-dovey relationships, or a Venus conjunct Uranus. Depends on whether they're male or female, possibly. Don't really know how that fits, to be honest. And I keep trying to look into it, but not found anything concrete that I can comment on with regard to sexuality, Venus and Mars, and where planets sit, and whether, within same-sex relationships, that type of thing. I don't know, but it's something that I'm interested in and need to keep looking at. So this person could be cooler natured than their initial demeanour, the personality they push out and would have you believe, because you'll probably be thinking passionate when you meet this person. you would definitely be thinking karmic, but you may actually find that you have to almost like nip into their time. And I hope you can apply this to somebody you know or somebody you meet. If you do meet them and there's anything in this that basically sparks off, please come back and tell me in the comment section, because I love that. I'm going to say goodbye and thank you. Bye. Okay, pile number 3. You're tangerine galoshes, aren't you? I don't know if I've said this in the other readings, but sometimes this can feel a little bit stilted because you're going through the houses, you're trying to interpret the cards and then put certain houses together, which I suppose people do with tarot readings anyway, but I find this one can be stilted, and I've done it before and not put it out. I've got quite a few things I just haven't put out, but I will go through it slowly, and then I will summarize it at the end, and it will speed up and hopefully will pull together. So it's like a jigsaw piece to begin with. There's a feeling straight away in this pile here that this person is a fantastic provider. What does that mean? Is that correct? I don't know, but that is what I'm thinking. Somebody who, this is how I probably interpret it. I don't know whether it's strange thing to say or not, but it's somebody who is confident in their ability to arrange themselves, organize themselves in this world to feel financially stable, I think, and enjoys doing that, enjoys money themselves, and enjoys the not the competition. A King of Wands down here on the second house, but they enjoy the chase of the money, if that makes sense, and they enjoy the end results as well. And there's a feeling here, because you've got the strength in the 7th house here, that that's part of what they enjoy doing. They enjoy being a provider. They enjoy giving security to family and lovers. It's that type of feeling here. There's a Taurus rising here with the King of Wands. So this to me, especially with the Libra down here, which you can't see these because I can't fit them all out, but that's more an inkling of Sun and Moon to me, which is just below these cards. You've got Libra, Moon, possibly here. It's just a flavour for me, and Taurus here, but that's very Venusian. So this person will be typically good looking. When I think of Venus people that are good looking, it feels mean to me. My sister, as I've said many times before, out of the 3 girls in my family, my sister's the one with Libra rising upstairs, and she got all the best bits. It's really mean. Oftentimes longer eyelashes, bigger eyes, smaller nose. I'm going to start crying here. Proper lip. Actually, no, the lips aren't. Yeah, she's got more lips than the rest of the family. It's that person that gets all the best bits, as I've just said. So they're typically seen as being beautiful, whether they're male or female. There's an idea of beauty. There's an idea of fleshiness as well. I know that Elvis, I don't know, I'm thinking of Elvis because I'm thinking of like lips. To me, he looks, and I know you probably, I think this may relate more. I don't know much about Vedic astrology, but it probably could relate to that. But he, to me, has a Venus-y type look, pudgy face. Proper lips, a little bit sulky, a little bit sort of, or a face which I would call indulgent, whatever that means. But this person is Taurian, so they're going to have a stronger build about them. They probably are good at rugby, is the feeling here. I'll give you a little inkling of what they look like from behind. I hope the people I'm about to talk about are watching this. My daughter's boyfriend is Taurus. Is he Taurus or Virgo? He's got Taurus rising or Taurus sun. Taurus sun, yeah, he's Taurus sun. And he sat on our couch watching TV, and I'm looking at the family with him sat there, and his neck, which is very Taurian, is so much bigger than my family, who have basically got like string necks. It's just a totally different build. And when you think of the guy Henry Cavill, it's that type of build. Depends whether they build it up or not, but they have the ability to do it to look thick set. So I think that your person is good looking in a very luscious way. They are probably very heavy set in some shape or form. The women tend to have their their weight around their hips. The men tend to have it more the top off of their body. The Knight of Wands here makes me think as well that this person is confident in themselves, they're steady, they speak in a very sort of measured manner, but they're very forthcoming with regards to how they introduce themselves. If they like somebody, they will show it with the Knight of Wands here. It gives a fiery feeling to the Taurus here. So this is somebody who wants somebody to behold, I guess. What does that mean? Somebody to behold. I think they'll make an impact is probably what I mean there with regards to their looks. There'll be somebody that you will recognise easily in a crowd because of their height, because of their stature, because of probably being typically good looking, probably quite... I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to keep moving here. So let's have a look at how you will recognise them with regards to communication. The Ace of Cups here is Venusian feeling, this forthright feeling. This person will let you know that they're attracted to you. They will be open and expressive with regards to the words that they choose and how they deliver them. This person's got a romantic way of communicating with the third house here and this feeling here. So to me, it's this. I'm not going to say they write poetry because the rest of it doesn't. Taurus may, but the rest of it doesn't hint of it. But when they speak, they will be eloquent, they will have the right words, they will make you want to melt. They've even got down here a Libra moon. Libra moons again are very good at saying the right things at the right time, getting the right words together, and they can make people's knees go weak. It's a really strange thing to say. Taurus and Libra together also make the most beautiful voice. So there'll be no doubt about it. Your person you'll recognise by the timbre of their voice. Oh my gosh. Who was reading the other day? Johnny Depp was on. I don't watch Johnny Depp since I used to find that really interesting though. But I just love looking at lawyers' stories. I just love the way their mind works. And there's a guy that I follow on YouTube called Lawyer, and Taurus. You can tell he's a Taurus. He's quite heavy set, really. You can't see when he's sitting there, but I find him really interesting. He's very straight. He's very clear. He's very kind. He's very considerate. But he just is. He's there. He's just. I don't know. I love the way his mind works. Anyway, what was I saying here? I totally forgotten. Got carried away by Taurian men. I was looking at first house Libra, wasn't I? Yeah, I forgot. Never mind, let's keep moving. What are we looking at? Family and heritage, the way that they communicate, home life, Libra. Okay. So this is somebody whose mother probably or family were very much into... I would normally say the Libra moon is somebody who attached their mother or attached their family in a way that was very secure and very sort of refined, very polite, very considerate for each other. But you've got the you've got Libra down here. You've got the 5 of Wands here. So to me, there feels as if there's something slightly antagonistic or annoying or irritating about the connection. So I would interpret this with regards to that perhaps mum was very much into, or the family was very much into, because it's that down here is your core. It doesn't have to just be mum, but it often is in the 4th house. Into looking good, money spent on things that were very visual, furnishings, clothes, spa treatments, that type of thing. But there could have been something slightly lacking with regards to the connection to mum. This doesn't feel like there was arguments. It just feels like, I don't know, just something slightly like, that used to annoy me, that type of feeling in the home life. I might go back to that and see how this carries on. Okay, so their career, if you've got the 2nd house and the financial house down here in values, this person's confident that they can get money out of the world. They're not afraid to do that. They've got what I guess is a very sort of outgoing energy that it will be prepared to put the time and the effort to make themselves feel secure with a Taurus here. You've also got in the 6th house, what have we got here? The 6th and the 10th. You've got the Page of Pentacles in the 10th. Oh, that's an unusual one. That backs down this energy, the Page to me in the 10th house. Unless they work with children, unless they do actually coach rugby, which is all could be possible here. And the 6th house has got this could be somebody. This has got a similar feeling to pile number 2. And I was telling a little story, which I won't go into because I lost my track getting carried away with my last one. But of people who have come from an environment that wants to help groups. Very sort of altruistic is the word, very sort of the bigger picture in their mind there is a feeling here of that, because this person's fiery, they're financially driven, they've got a strong personality, and then it comes to what I guess is quite a painful 6th house here. And I'm looking at their career initially. So whether they help children that are in need, or they set people, there's like a starter business where they set people going, or they perhaps give advice to other businesses when they've set themselves up in some way that they feel confident. The Page of Pentacles backs that down. So do they give advice to people who are starting off with the Page of Pentacles in the 10th house, and this sort of like healing movement feeling here with regards to their thought processes, whether they are, this is difficult. It's like, I can interpret it in my head, but to think of actual careers is difficult. It's like when people are starting off, whether it's people, whether it's situations, whether it's other people's businesses, it's like they could somehow bolster them up because they've done it before. Taurus is very fixed. The King of Wands is very confident. And they're the 6th. It's like healing people. It's like, okay, come to me, I can help you, and we'll get you started on a track again where you feel like everything's fine and measured here from this 6th house bit here. Acts of service are healing, smoothing things over, finding mental... what's the word? Mental ways to make things feel right. Ways isn't the right word. That could also be health as well. So their health could at some point taken a bit of a bashing with the Taurus and the Libra here. My first thought is kidneys, thyroid, possibly with Taurus, throat region. And they may have had periods out of work. Don't know, just thoughts there. Let's have a look now at their love language. You have got the 3rd house, Ace of Cups. As I said, somebody who use very sort of impassioned words in a way that make you feel like you're lost in it. You've got here the King of Swords, who's quite straightforward though. So that 5th house is the house of love and playfulness. And you've got somebody here who's confident. Well, yeah, see, it's difficult because in the 5th house, I want to talk about the way that they speak because it's the Sword card here. But you've got Sagittarius down here, and you've got the Ace of Cups. This is like somebody who texts you with very forthright and clear demands, possibly with this here, and sensual demands, and this will be somebody who, when you can basically wind you around the little finger with regards to putting on a bit of a twist to it. So this would be somebody who's quite, I'm going to choose the wrong word here because I can't think of a different one. This is more about me than definitely what I can see here. Manipulative with regards to how their love language moves. To me, manipulative isn't the right word. It's like it's that wrapping around people around their finger because they're straightforward, they're confident, they're sensual, they're sexual. The King of Wands is how they articulate their thoughts and their words in love. And the Sagittarius there is direct. The 3rd house here has a poetic feel of choosing the right things at the right time that make you think, and probably correctly. There's nothing underhand in this of giving it all up. So, basically just giving it all up. So that's why I said manipulative, and I mean more the point that this person could wrap anybody around their fingers. Good looking, good with their words, straightforward enough for you to think, oh, they're being really honest, but then they really overham it and you're still falling for it, is what I said. It's quite a skill here for them to have. So this person is a real charmer. If this is turning your stomach in some way, I don't feel that it will, because there's such intermingling of different like air and water here, that they will be delivered in a way, not as I'm delivering it now, but in a way that, a way that would just the spot, hit your spot. Whether you like forthright, whether you like truthful, whether you like poetic and beautiful and love language, they will choose, or it will be delivered in a way that basically speaks to you. There's a strong feeling here of somebody who is clever, not misusing it clever, but has got lots of tools in their toolbox, whatever the words are. Anyway, let's have a look at friends. Let's change from that. Friends, you've got here somebody who's a searcher, somebody who, this to me feels more like somebody, because of this like business feeling here, somebody that delivers a dream to others, but never stops pushing forward with regards to what they feel they're meant to be doing this lifetime. So this person has got a purpose and is always aiming for it. And this has got a bit of a Sagittarius, Aquarius feel to it, where somebody projects outwards, perhaps likes to help groups, likes to make a stamp, perhaps with Aquarius there, with regards to how generations move from one to the next. And sometimes they can do that with a bit of a jolting or a bit of a rebellious sort of tactic. I'm not saying your person doesn't feel rebellious. There isn't Aquarius in here, I would say, but definitely an ideal. And that's with this card here in the 6th house. They heal people, and that can be in many, many jobs. And that can be just a sentence that you say to somebody. And there's just something in the quality that allows people to feel like they are getting on the right track in their job and their career. Right, 9th house again, you've got the Ace of Wands, which is exactly the same position the Ace of Wands was in the last pile. So to me, I interpret that in two different ways. It was either religious or spiritual, and then I played up between which one could that be with this pile here. I would, I can't decide. Taurian, I would say would go more towards everything contained in a package that's delivered, and they can search inside that package. That may be insulting, don't mean it to be. It's just I'm thinking of the Hierophant card here. The Sagittarius is somebody who likes to search and find their own answers. So to be honest, it could be either, but I think that their moral standing, their belief system is very, very important to them, is what I would say. Whichever way any of us want to be able to look at that, to decipher it, to me it makes no difference. It's what we do with it that makes a difference. And I often feel you talk about religion and spirituality, you can get yourself into like some sort of sticky wicky ground. But deep down inside myself, I don't care. I don't care, as long as we all get the answers that we need to make ourselves be that little bit better, a little bit more aware. How we get them is not important to me. Which may be insulting, I don't know. Anyway, let's start wrapping this up with regards to your life partner and your spouse. How will you recognise? And this person will be something to behold. I think I said, and I meant that, and I don't know, it doesn't mean much, but it will be somebody who'll make a large impact with regards to their body, the amount of space that they take up, the timbre of their voice, I think I said. The way that they speak is very persuasive, very beautiful, but can be very direct if needed. And that's what I meant with regards to this person is going to be a complete and utter charmer. They can be whatever they decide to be because they've got lots of different qualities. They've got the fire here for the 5th house, which to me is somebody who's straightforward, somebody who with a King of Wands says what they're thinking, and so they're very trustworthy. But you've also got the Libra down here for the Moon as well. So this is somebody who can deliver it in a package that can make you melt. And with the Ace of Cups here with the 3rd house, has a flowery flavour to their language that could almost like dribble out poetry, and in a very, very emotional way that can hit you deep inside your soul. So this person's bright, and I know I said manipulative before, but that could possibly, if you didn't want what this person was giving, if you didn't trust them, I think you will here, to be honest. I don't think this person hides anything. It could feel like that, but it's not. With regards to their career, how you may recognise them, their everyday activities, there is a feeling here that they could have gone through a period of illness, which I discussed earlier. But this person, I think, allows people to grow with regards to whatever job they do. There's a nurturing quality here with the Page of Pentacles where they set people on the right track. So that can encompass many different careers here. They have a vision, they have a dream, and they feel that they're going to get there, even if it takes them a long time. This person's focused. tourist. You've got a couple of readings here. I think pile 2 as well has got quite a type A personality feel to it as well. This one has 2. One I can't remember, to be honest, because that feels like hours ago now. The 12th house here with regards to karma. The 4th house has got the Libra. How will you recognise them? Will there be a karmic feel here? There will be an intensity to this connection that you'll recognise immediately. I feel that you will be in a situation with the Libra here and the 5 of Wands where you're trying to communicate in a way that feels that everything's okay, nothing's out of place, there's not going to be an argument, but there will be something in this person's personality that you will take time to adjust, you will need time to adjust to. And I think it's this here, the 5th house, in the Sagittarius and the King of Swords could be quite straight, and Taurus can be straight. In fact, in one reading, I'm just going to say this before I go, I was talking about being crude, and then I thought, actually, no, I'm not crude. And I don't think I am crude. I like silly and I like childish, which is probably something not good inside myself, but I laugh. That's what makes me laugh. But my Taurus friends are the crudest. The things that they come out with, oh my Lord. I'm like, you can't say that word, it begins with C. Stop it, get to bed. Anyway, I'm going to leave you there, pile number 3. Thank you very much for joining me today. Please don't forget to subscribe if you like the videos. Bye.